Hello and welcome to, well, really we're killing two birds with one stone here, but we've got something a little bit special. Now I just want to quickly go into options. Yes, I know I'm extending the life meter, but this is more so just a discussion video really. And I think for this, there's a reason behind it, but we're gonna go Gilius. So we're killing two birds with one stone. So this, of course, is Golden Axe. We're doing it for the Sega Mega Drive Classics series that I'm still working through. But also, this is serving as a little behind the scenes to another series that has just finished, and that is, of course, the Audiobook. But first of all, I'll just, once I'm done not getting hit, will discuss my history with Golden Axe. Thieves. Now I'm used to calling them thieves. See, we used to call them elves. But in the book, they're thieves. And the chicken walkers coming back from Altered Beast. God damn it. So, Golden Axe. If you follow me on Twitter at TommyTed1202, you'll know how much I freaking love Golden Axe as a series and the games. And in fact, Sega, when's Golden Axe 4 happening? You guys followed me on Twitter recently, so where's Golden Axe 4? Streets of Rage 4 is coming, and that'll be out. That should be out hopefully really soon. We still don't have a release date on Streets of Rage 4. Ow. So, where's Golden Axe 4? Sega Australia were actually working on one, and then just out of nowhere, it got canned. What happened? So, I did have stuff in the pipeline organised with a certain other YouTube and social media highlight, shall we say? Quite well known. Christ sakes. A while ago, but nothing ever happened about it. We're going to start a campaign. I found all the stuff that the bloke asked me to create too, and it's still sitting on my phone. I should do something with that, but you'll see that we're pushing a hashtag Golden Axe 4. Yeah, use it, guys, so that way we can get Golden Axe 4. So, my first experience with Golden Axe wasn't the arcade, and it wasn't the Mega Drive cartridge. Now, this is interesting because this sticks out in my mind a bit ever since I first saw the video. Since Spacey's put out a video about Golden Axe, the version you never played, which was the Mega CD version on that compilation, that Classics compilation. Well, to be completely honest with you, That was the first version of Golden Axe I played. Was the Mega CD version on that disc. I got that disc when we got the Mega CD. And that was the first version I played. It was also the first version of Revenge of Shinobi I played. It was how I first played Streets of Rage. It was also how I first played Super Monaco GP. It, however, was not the first time I played Columns. We actually had the cartridge of Columns by the time we got the Mega CD. And it was the Mega CD Model 1. Ah. So I actually first played Golden Axe on the Mega CD. And I knew someone that had Golden Axe on cartridge. And I gotta be honest, the death screams, I prefer the cartridge version over the Mega CD enhancements. The Mega CD ones just sounded, you get the ah! On the Mega CD you just get oh. So I much prefer the ah! Oh, what am I doing? Hit the wrong button. Crap. Oh well, we'll manage. So the first time I played the cartridge version was not long after I played the Mega CD one. I was talking about this to someone, and they said, "Oh, I've got it here. We'll play it." And I remember the sound effects were just, oh. Just, the sound effects to me just sounded so much better. I mean, the gameplay was still the same. It was still good old Golden Axe, but... There we go. Oh, I've got some health. There we go. But I've since got the cartridge version because the Mega CD disc of mine actually doesn't work anymore, sadly. Fortunately, all the games that are on it, I've got the cartridge versions anyway, which is fine. Now, by rights, I think from memory, this is chapters... Eight and 9? Oh, I hit the wrong button again. That's alright, we'll meet more... We'll meet more thieves in a minute. Like now. Ah! Oh. Got it. The other one's sitting here good. One thing I will say is with Golden Axe, I struggle with it a tiny bit because it's a bit stiff than, say, Streets of Rage. I mean, this was before Streets of Rage. Ah. Now, DEB. I was shocked to find that that made it into the book. When I came across that when I was doing the initial reading before I recorded the audiobook, I sat there quite gobsmacked that got into the book, because I only know about it, this little Easter egg having legs in recent years, which is it just shows the power of it. Oh God, that it caught people's attention back then, because the book that I narrated is from 1992. It's not new. It was released with Sega Power. And I was quite surprised with how the book sort of follows the arc of the game. Yeah, here comes the second one. Oh, great. I haven't played this in a while. Been too busy playing Capcom beat-em-ups. So now, the audiobook. Speaking of the audiobook, this is also because some people, it was requested by someone and a few people wanted it. The sort of behind the scenes, the making of the audiobook. So originally, I posted a tweet showing off the book that I got it. Of course, one of the things that came up the most was, what's that? No one had heard of it. A couple of people came out and said, oh, I know what that is, but a lot of people go, what's that? I've never seen that. I never heard of that. A Golden Axe novel? No. Then, of course, the next thing that popped up is, I'll have to get one for myself. And look, the book is a tad tricky to find. I'll be honest, I got lucky with finding that book. It was a tin-ass moment. It was located in a second-hand bookshop about an hour away from me. And it was an online purchase. Oh, that glitched out a bit. What happened there? He just slid while trying to grab him. So I thought, how am I going to get this to people? I thought oh, I gotta do something. With the amount of attention that tweet got, magic time. I thought, oh, I gotta do something. At this time, I was actually cleaning a little nook in my house. God damn it. And in it was a box filled with miscellaneous VHS tapes, cassettes, a few minor CDs and stuff like that. In there was 2 audiobooks. No, 3, sorry. There was 3 audiobooks. 1 on cassette and 2 on CD. Which was A Christmas Carol, narrated by Andrew Sachs, better known as Manuel from Fawlty Towers. Lemony Snicket's A Series of Unfortunate Events, the first book, which is narrated by Tim Curry. And there was The Wind in the Willows. I don't know who narrated that one. The name doesn't stick out. I think it was just someone whose profession is audiobooks. And I thought, that's when I looked and thought, I know what I could do. And I thought it was the best idea in the world. Until I actually recorded the first part. And I thought, oh, I listened back to it, I thought, oh Christ, what have I done? Now, as some of you know I used to participate in Follow Fridays on Twitter. Not anymore. I made a public apology for that part. It garnered attention and it took off a little bit. Much to my surprise and, well, to be quite honest, horror for, oh Christ. Of all the things to take off for this channel, it has to be a goddamn audiobook. Normally, audiobooks are read by someone with a lovely British accent, a little bit of a gruff and rumble, although I've been told I've got a deep voice, I don't know. And here's this Aussie bogan doing it. And it's not something with substance like Shakespeare or The Great Gatsby or even Wind in the Willows. No, they're reading a cheap novel of Golden Axe that came as a publicity stunt for a magazine. Now, why can't the skeletons be not as much of a pain as the book? This makes me want to watch Jason and the Argonauts again for Ray Harryhausen's stop-motion animation, because that is awesome. And the original Clash of the Titans. The remake with Liam Neeson and Sam Worthington is crap. Absolute crap. Nothing beats the original with Laurence Olivier, Maggie Smith, and Burgess Meredith. Wah, wah, wah. I always do that when I mention Burgess Meredith. Screw Rocky. Penguin all the way. So normally they're normally the audiobooks are done much better than mine. But it got legs, and so I continued with it. I have listened to the other parts. I do think I got a tad better. However, I still think I'm crap. But a lot of people like me doing them. Because even still after... it's been a... it's died down a little bit. No, they're not... The series is done. It's all there and presented. But, you know, it's not talked about because it's finished. It's still gathering views. I don't know if people are rewatching it and listening to it in one big chunk now that's all finished, or if it's gathering new people. I don't know. Get off me. So, but as some of you know, Sega Power did more than one novel. They did 4, and I have been given copies of the other 3 books digitally. Someone's given me them as a PDF file. So, it's been requested for more. I will be doing more. But the actual makings of the audiobook, do you know what? These are harder. The Let's Plays. These are harder because I'm trying to talk and trying to concentrate, and basically, unless it's the columns video, you're just watching me get my ass kicked. Fortunately, people have realised that this is more about the stories than just the playthroughs. I'm just doing this. Oh, bugger. I'm just doing this just, you know, something to visualise instead of just a black screen or me in front of it. Oh, there we go. And now I get the health, yeah. Come here. Come here. Thank you. Got it. So the actual goings into it, they were recorded in parts, so they were released part by part, but I actually didn't... once they were recorded, they were straight away edited and borderline released in the space of 2 hours. Not even. There we go. So, I couldn't believe that they incorporated the eagle in the book too. That was that was strange. I fell too. What the hell? The bloody... I think the dragon's head caught me. Or what are they... Bizarrian, they were called in the book. So, the parts... It was two chapters per part. It was 8 parts, 16 chapters. About 5 to 6 pages per chapter. The book was just a little over 100 pages. And they were recorded late at night because I wasn't in any good soundproof room or nothing. I was in a room that was filled with spare mattresses to deaden the sound, and a towel over the window so the sound wouldn't bounce off the glass. Ow. Ow! Why didn't... There we go. So they were recorded around between 9:30 and 10:30 at night. They were recorded to avoid the noise of the neighbours' kids. There we go. Come here. Gotcha. I want to try and save that if I can. Let me out. I always loved this track. That fast run. I just love the majesty of it. So, the recording equipment wasn't that flash on. It was a mobile phone on with an MP3 recorder app, and I basically sat in front of my phone and read the book on me sitting on a chair and the phone on a tripod to get it around about mouth height. And if there was I wouldn't, except for the last part because I cracked the shits. Let's get some magic on Death Adder. Let's get that other bottle. Hit him one more time with a little bit of small stuff. Every little bit counts. Ow. Ah. Yeah. Oh! And then, basically, the audio was pasted over the top of the footage you saw, which was basically just a little introduction. Damn it! If this skeleton would fuck off... Piss off. Ah, didn't jump in time. Got him! Now here comes the special bit about the Mega Drive. I think it's not really a secret. There's one more bit after this. The arcade one ends, and that's about it. So that's basically how the audiobook was done. It was me in front of a device that recorded the audio, and I read the book. Then edited it together and released it. That was about it. I didn't do edits except for the last part. Just because it was the last part, I just thought I want to get it done, because Chapter 15 was a pain in the ass. Chapter 15 actually wasn't written that well, and it was a nightmare to read, and I kept screwing up. I must have tried. I actually tried one night, cracked it, and actually revisited it the next night, and that's the only part I edited together, because I was that close to the end. I thought, no, I can edit this one. The rest of the ones, if I stuffed up, I scrapped that recording and started from scratch for that part. So if I was reading chapters 3 and 4, got through chapter 3 but screwed up in chapter 4, I would kill that part and restart from chapter 3. I think I'll record each chapter separately, do the 2 parts but just stitch the 2 together because it wasn't that hard. But that's basically it. That was how that was done. That is basically how the next one will be done. I do know what the next one will be, but I'm going to keep it a secret. No! Got rid of him. You. Right. I hate this bit. I missed it. Where's the game over sound? That is weird. That's a stuff up in the finger. But anyway. That's... Well, I've gotten the stuff about the audiobook, so C rank, whatever. If I was playing this without talking, I'd be better, but I still haven't received a knack. And I'm using the PS4 controller for a Mega Drive game, which is shit. Any controller for the Mega Drive game that is not the Mega Drive controller is just not that fun to me. Even not so much the Saturn one. The Dreamcast one, that Smash Pack, that was a pain in the ass. Also, the emulation on that just sucked. So, if I was to change anything about the book, I felt it was a very solitary experience. It only represented the one player. Gilius was only name mentioned. That's why I played Gilius, because he was only name mentioned. Name dropped twice in the book from memory. I would have had the last fight with Deathbringer. That was only in one chapter. Bit brief, sort of a bit of a... the ending to it was a bit meh. Fortunately, because I edited it in 2 parts, the last part had a little bit more body. Yeah, I would have solitary bits, Axe on his own, Taurus on her own, Gillies on her own, but then I'd have the 2 together. So that way, you could represent the 2-player experience, because that's the best thing about these beat 'em ups. It's the 2-player. I mean, they're still fun as all hell on your own, but with a friend, oh. I mean, I'm so used to playing Hyperstone Heist on my own, and then when I went to Bartronica with Lucas and we played 2-player Ninja Turtles, oh my god, we sunk $20 into that machine alone, and then still played other machines. He'd put in some money, I put in some money, then we'd swap like that, and then caught up with Sega Master Tim. That was a good day that day. I had a ball that day. So I would do that with the book, and then that way you could have Axe on his own and Tyrus and Gilius on them too, and swap and all this, and have a little bit more character development. But I'm not really complaining. Someone asked me that, what would I change differently, and that was what I would change differently if I wrote the book. All I did was narrate the book, and do a little tiny shitty voice acting. That's what I would do different, but the book wasn't written to be this, New York Times bestseller. It was written to be a promotional giveaway with an issue of Sega Power. Basically, what happened was the editor walked up to one of the writers in the office and said, "You've got to write this Golden Axe book, make it yay long, stuff like that. Just make it, good enough for the kids." And at the end of it, he handed in, and he got a paycheck. That's really what it was. But it's Golden Axe, it's Sega, and so it's got that quirk for me to prick my ears up. But other than that, I'm going to leave it at that. Thanks for tuning in. Hopefully the behind the scenes of the audiobook was interesting for you all. And yeah, we'll revisit the Capcom Beat 'em Up bundle next. I have a feeling I'm going to be looking at Knights of the Round. And then it will be time to revisit the Land of Literature. Alright guys, I'm Tommy Ted, and I'll see you around.